You know who else disagrees with this bullshit, taking our freedoms, forcing us to take this poison, and destroying our kids' future livelihoods, and fall into communism? You know who else disagrees with this? This guy right here. He disagrees. He also disagrees. Pretty sure this guy, he fucking disagrees too. All these brave heroes that gave their lives for our country and our freedoms. Kokoda, New Guinea, 8th of September 1942, 29. Died as a POW. Died in horrific conditions as a POW to the Japanese. Died as a POW in Thailand. RAF, RAAF, killed in action. No, RAAF, missing in action. Thousands upon thousands of brave Australians gave their lives for our freedoms. Killed in New Guinea. RAAF, 100 Squadron. Thousands made the supreme sacrifice so our illegal government could bestow totalitarian vax mandates on us? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure if all these guys here were alive and here today, they'd have something big to say about that. They'd have something very big to say about it. And the thing is, we need to be like them. A generation's been watered down. They don't have that digger spirit in them like they had. They don't have that courage in their stomach to stand up, to properly stand up. Except today, we saw 20,000 Australians standing up. We saw 20,000 about, standing up in the streets. I want to know how many of those 20,000 would be willing to take up arms and fight for this country. Because I would, in a heartbeat. So that's what you got to ask yourself, people, with this mandatory vaccination. Would you do what all these brave Australians did? Would you have done that? And that wasn't even fighting on their own soil, except for New Guinea when we were protecting ourselves from Japanese invasion. They went to help others. Now it's time to fucking help yourself. Be diggers. Be Anzacs. A legend that started in Gallipoli. It hasn't ended. It never will end. That legend will always go on if we continue to stand. If we surrender our values, our digger spirit, our Anzac spirit will go with it. And if that happens, Australia goes. Because the very foundation that holds our country together is our mateship, our love for one another, and our love of freedoms. We will not be told what to do. We will not submit. We will not comply. I want to draw your attention to these two here. One died for his country in World War I. One died for his country in World War II. Considering they both go by the name of Peter Wheatley, one's Private Peter J. Wheatley, one's Private Peter G. Wheatley, can only tell me that most likely father and son gave their lives to this country. So let's just remember that. How many fathers, sons, brothers, uncles, and nowadays, now women are in combat, our women are facing these sort of perils as well. But you've got to ask yourself this too. What is our Australian Army doing? What standards? See all these other crosses here? Well, not crosses, but headstones, not headstones, plaques. They are endless. There's heaps. And a lot of them are brothers and fathers and sons. And have died in the two conflicts. Because they had the balls to stand up for their country and their values held strong. Our values these days, our children have been brainwashed. You tell them to pick up a gun and go defend someone else's country, they won't do it, let alone their own. So we have to rise and expect that there is a fight coming. There is a fight coming. There's no fucking doubt about it. You'll have to be willing to fight. And that means people dying. That's what happens in war. You can't have a war where nobody dies. It's never happened in history of man. Even the Cold War, people died. So we are faced with complete communism in a country that our diggers fought to make this one of the most beautiful, sought after countries to live in the world. People would do anything to come to this country, and now I've spoken to refugees here that have come from war-torn countries and communist countries, and they're appalled because the country they chose to reside in and to protect their family in is now falling into the same ideals. And as I said before, we can't lose our Anzac spirit. Our Anzac spirit goes, we lose our country. We lose our country, it's over. Our Australian Army are being traitors. They're not standing for the people's rights. They're supporting a government that has a 90-year suppression order on the pedophiles, the VIP pedophiles. And they're working to lock down their fellow citizens and force poison them with this vax. So shame on the Australian Army at the moment, and until they prove differently, I have no respect for them. The police are trying to show it up, putting their sirens on and shit to make it look like shit's going on, but it's not. It's been a peaceful protest.
Yep.
For the better part, the cops have just stood back and done nothing.
They're pretty good. They let everybody go.
They closed the streets for us. So the cops are here in rather big presence. Sounds like something's happening now. I'm hearing sirens and shit all approaching. So I don't know what the go is. We've got a riot vehicle back there. Look at them all. Look at them all. Nazis. Filthy Nazi scum. Fucking Nazis everywhere. I feel like I'm in the middle of World War II Germany. Yeah. So the police have actually been good today, but they are flexing their muscles to try and show force. I don't think the people really give a shit. There are like 20,000 people who just don't give a fuck. And yeah, so we're okay here in WA for now. This is how the protests go down here. It's not like we're running from rubber bullets or running to them. But we have been told that is quite a good possibility that will happen here soon. So when that happens, Australia, or West Australia, you run towards those rubber bullets. You don't run the fuck away from them. And you fucking overpower the police and you fucking take them down. I'm sorry. Do me for incitement. Hey, I've put myself all over YouTube, Facebook saying this. Come on, fuckers, come get me. Do me for incitement. I would love to have my day in court to speak about you pieces of shit. So anyway, I'm waiting for you. Pissed off Australian truckie, and I'm not scared of you pieces of shit.